Hi, friends. Happy Tuesday evening. I hope everyone is having a wonderful start to their week. How many of you out there have already begun school in person? And how many of you have school virtually? However, you're going to school this first marking period, I really hope that you're having a wonderful time. And I hope that you had a wonderful summer. Thanks for joining me. My name is Amanda for Bedtime Stories with Get Your Play Online. This evening's selection is Just Ask by Sonia Sotomayor, illustrated by Rafael Lopez. If you have this book in your library, quickly go grab it off of the shelf, open it up so you can follow along as I read to you. Don't forget to grab yourself a blanket, snuggle up underneath the covers, whether you're on a couch, in a bed, or outside like I am. I wanted to read to everyone outside because there's only so many days left in summer, and tonight is a nice, cool evening. It's the weather where I am, it's the perfect weather to have a fire and just sit by it and read a good book. And that's what we're going to do. So let's begin. Just ask. Just ask. Be different. Be brave. Be you. Hi, I'm Sonia. My friends and I are planting a garden. Gardens are magical places. Thousands of plants bloom together. But every flower, every berry, and every leaf is different. Each has a different smell, different color, different shape, and different purpose. Some flowers need lots of sunlight. Others thrive in the shade. Some have to be trimmed regularly, while others are better off left alone. Some trees and flowers are more fragile, and others are more hardy. Kids are all different too. Some of us are in a hurry, and others take more time. Some of us seem shy and quiet, while others are chatty and loud. Some of our differences are easy to spot. Others take longer to notice. Each of us grows in our own way. So if you are curious about other kids, just ask. Can you see all of the flowers, the different kinds of flower packs that they have? Not everyone is comfortable answering questions about themselves, but I don't mind. What am I doing? Several times a day, I prick my finger to measure the sugar in my blood, and I give myself shots of medicine called insulin. I do this because, do any of you know the answer? Why would she have to prick herself a few times a day and measure her sugar in her blood and then give herself insulin? If you said it's because she has a diagnosis of diabetes, then you're right. I do this because I have diabetes and my body doesn't make insulin naturally like other people's. Even though this can sometimes hurt, I gather all of my courage to do it to be healthy. Do you ever need to take medicine to be healthy? How many of you out there need to take medicine? What about if you have a cold? Whether it's a runny nose or a cough or allergies. Lots of people I know have to take something when it's allergy season. I do. My name is Rafael, and I have asthma, which means I sometimes have trouble breathing. When that happens, I take a break and use an inhaler with medicine to make breathing easier. Quiet time helps me slow down and catch my breath. My inhaler is like a tool to help my body. Do you use a tool to help your body? I do. Not only do I sometimes have to give myself medicine, but I also use a tool. And just like Raphael, I have asthma. So when I need some help breathing, especially when I'm running around and playing sports, I would have to use my inhaler to help me feel better and continue playing. Any of you out there have to do the same? We're just alike. Do you see the beautiful pictures that he's painting on the rocks? I'm Anthony, and I use a wheelchair to get around. Even though I can't run with my legs, I can go super fast. How do you get from place to place? Do you see him? He's sitting right there in his wheelchair. It looks like he's going really fast. And his friends have to run after him and chase him. How do you all get from place to place? I use my legs so I can walk. Sometimes I'll walk, sometimes I'll skip, sometimes I'll run. But I'm very fortunate that I have the use and ability of my legs to help me go from place to place. What about you? My name is Madison, and my guide dog, Lucky, helps me get places safely because I'm blind. My friend, Arturo, is blind too. He uses a cane to get around. Even though we can't see, we strengthen our other senses and notice lots of details others may miss. We can hear with our ears, smell with our noses, and feel with our hands. How do you use your senses? I see with my eyes, I smell with my nose, I taste with my tongue, I hear with my ears, and I touch and I feel with my hands. I sometimes even touch and feel with my toes. How about you? How do you use your senses? And can you see Madison with Lucky and Arturo with his white cane? I'm VJ. I learn about the world differently because I can see, but I can't hear. I'm deaf. Most of the time, I communicate with people using my face and hands through sign language. It's cool to know another language. I also love reading and writing. What about you? Do any of you know how to sign? I've been learning. I've been learning my alphabet. I can spell my name. I can spell Mickey Mouse in sign language. And I know several words. Some words I like to use with my son because he doesn't speak yet. So if I want him to put his shoes on, I say shoes. Wear your shoes. When I say goodnight to him, thank you, I love you, those are some of the signs that I know. What about you? Do any of you know some ASL? I would love to know what you know. I'm Bianca, and I have dyslexia, so I have to work really hard and take my time when I am reading and writing words. Sometimes I use computer programs to help me. I love learning by doing things. My imagination is full of ideas, and I'm very good at making art from the pictures I see in my mind. Are you really good at something? Do you see the pictures that she sees in her mind, and that's what she's drawing? I don't know if I'm necessarily good at one particular thing, but I love to do lots of stuff. And when I do stuff, I like to be dedicated and put my heart into it. And for me, I think that's what makes me good at some of the things that I do, because I really care about those things that I'm doing, such as cooking and baking and playing sports and teaching others. What about you? I'm great at dinosaurs. I know all about them. I'm Jordan, and I have autism. Organizing and counting all my toy dinosaurs again and again makes me feel calm. My classmate Tiana also has autism, but it's different for her. She doesn't talk, but I like to talk. I especially like to talk about dinosaurs. What do you like to talk about? Well, Jordan, I wish I knew a lot about dinosaurs, such as pronouncing all of their names. I have a book that my son loves to read, and those dinosaur names are very hard. What do you all like to talk about? You see, Tiana is over here, sitting quietly with her flower, looking up at the butterflies, while Jordan has all of his dinosaurs, and he's even wearing a dinosaur costume. For me, listening comes more easily than talking, and I'm a really good listener. My name is An, and I speak with a stutter. So I sometimes repeat a word or get stuck when I try to say it. It may take me a little longer to express myself, and sometimes I'm too shy to talk, but I understand everything that's going on. Do you ever wonder if people understand you? I wonder all the time if people understand me. I'm told that sometimes I speak too quickly or I mumble, so I don't speak clearly enough. So some people have a hard time understanding what I'm saying. So I make sure that I think about what I'm going to say, and I've slowed down my speaking when I'm talking to other people. What about all of you? Do you ever wonder if people can understand you? Whether it's because you're a fast talker, maybe you have a stutter, or maybe you just don't like talking all that much. That's okay. I do. My name is Julia. Sometimes I wiggle or make sounds that I can't control because I have Tourette's syndrome. People may look at me funny because they think I am not paying attention or just acting out, but it's not true. I am listening. I don't always like having to explain. It frustrates me, but it helps when I tell people that it's just what my body does. Do you ever feel frustrated? Can you see her face? Looks like she's winking to the owl, and the owl is doing the same thing back. When you feel frustrated, what do you do to make yourself calm down? Anything special? Or how do you get to a state where you're no longer frustrated? Does mom or dad or a grown-up caretaker help you? Do you have a special animal in the house that you cuddle up with or pet to help you? My name is Manuel, and I have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It is also called ADHD. I can get frustrated when I really feel the need to move around, even though I'm supposed to sit still. When my teachers and friends are patient with me, if I forget something or get distracted, I can get myself back on track. What's helpful to you? Can you all see what Manuel is doing? He's got some apple seeds in his pocket, and it looks like his friends are trying to plant some plants, and he is jumping and hopping, and those seeds are falling out of his pocket. Oh no! Is there something that you have to do to get yourself back on track and to focus? Especially if you are in school and having to do it virtually. I'm sure that can be frustrating after a while. So what do you do to calm your body down and make sure that you're paying attention to your teacher's lesson? Do you count your breaths? Do you clench your body, holding your breath, and then release everything to calm yourself? Do you count backwards? Or do you sit on a big ball instead of a chair at your desk and bounce up and down when you feel the need to move? So then that way you're still seated at your desk, but you're bouncing up and down a little bit to get that energy out? What do you do? I love to sing and I love to talk. I love to make new friends and be included. I am Grace. I was born with Down syndrome. Kids like me with Down syndrome have an extra building block called a chromosome in our bodies. But we are all different from each other too. I can do almost anything any other kid can do, though learning new things can take some time. One way I learn is to ask questions. What helps you learn? If you look, looks like she's singing and talking to these birds that are singing right back to her. I think asking questions is so important. I'm that kind of person that loves to ask lots of questions because I want to make sure that I get things right. It's me, Sonia again. I ask questions too. When something seems different or new, I just ask my parents or my teachers, and they help me to understand, especially if my friends don't feel ready to explain. This is what I've learned. Imagine if all of the plants in this garden were exactly the same. Like, what if we only could grow peas? That would mean no strawberries, no cucumbers, or carrots. It might also mean no trees or roses or sunflowers. Well, if you could only grow peas, that sounds like a very boring garden. Just like in our garden, all the ways we are different make our neighborhood, our whole world really, more interesting and fun. And just like all of these plants, each of us has unique powers to share with the world and make it more interesting and richer. What will you do with your powers? I think that's a really good and important question to ask, especially at the start of this school year. Because everyone is different, they learn differently, they enjoy different subjects at school. But together, we can help each other. We can learn from one another, have fun with one another. I would love to know, what are you going to do with your powers? How are you going to make your life, your community, your family, your friends' lives a little brighter and better every day? Well, I hope that I could use my power of reading bedtime stories with Get Your Play Online to you this Tuesday evening and help you wind down and relax and get yourself ready for a good night's sleep so you can start your school day tomorrow off on the right foot after being well rested. Once again, the book that we read this evening is Just Ask. Be brave, be different, be you. And I'm sorry, it's actually Be Different, Be Brave, Be You by Sonia Sotomayor, illustrated by Rafael Lopez. I hope you enjoyed this book as much as I did. And once again, my name is Amanda, and thank you so much for taking some time out on this Tuesday evening to enjoy Get Your Play Online bedtime stories. I look forward to having the opportunity to read again to you real soon. Have yourself a wonderful evening. Take care, everyone. Good night.